greatest Ali video on YouTube. Muhammad Ali, the greatest. I'm excited to react to this because who's more goated than Muhammad Ali? I mean, this is one of my favorite people on the planet. So I'm definitely here for it. If you new, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, smash on that button. All right, let's get right into this.
World today.
What should people tell their kids who Muhammad Ali was?
Play is lightning fast.
He was a tremendous bolt of lightning. Muhammad Ali struck us in the middle of America's darkest night, in the heart of its most threatening gathering storm.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's
this
get
is
it. I'm here for
Cassius
this.
Marcellus Clay. He's young, he's handsome, they know it. He's a poet, and many people believe he'll be the next heavyweight champion of the world.
He was leaning back and away from punches.
Cassius Clay, you gotta remember, is the greatest fighter that ever lived, in and out of the ring.
Will unquestionably be the toughest fighter that Clay has been in with so far.
Created by Mother Nature out of thin air, a fantastic combination of power and beauty.
And he combined that velocity with the power of a heavyweight.
Moore is sent to the canvas again by a barrage of punches.
He did things nobody would do. He predicted the round that he would knock somebody out in, and then he would do it.
Clay wins by a fourth-round knockout, as predicted.
He was the first available superstar.
Oh my God.
He was funny. He was beautiful. He was the most perfect athlete you ever saw, and those were his own words.
He saw the publicity it brought. And what did the publicity equal? A larger and larger presence on the American stage.
Sonny Liston, I watched him here in the gym a few months ago when he was here to fight Howard King. And he can hit a guy in the elbows and just about break his arm.
Liston was a virtually invincible, just a dreadnought of a fighter. Liston was a great fighter. I seen him knock out a guy's teeth one night. It's the truth, no baloney. Hit him so hard, he dislodged the mouthpiece and the teeth went with the mouthpiece.
Oh, he said the teeth went out with the mouthpiece. It's not for me because I am a casual boxing fan, but I want to know who is y'all GOAT out there, because I know the argument will be between Floyd Mayweather and Muhammad Ali. Let me know who is your GOAT in boxing. I'm real interested to know. Leave it down in the comments.
He had this very
Oh my, he knocked this man out the ring, bro.
intimidating,
Oh my, he
utterly
was,
hostile manner about him.
I know them hurt.
He was so powerful. Honest to God, when he jabbed you, it was
Hey,
same
Sonny,
as
listen.
punching somebody, you know?
I had no dreaming idea that he could win that fight. I didn't give him a chance in hell.
I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
He was a 22-year-old by the name of Cassius Clay. Liston, almost the first time he hits him. Could be one, perhaps two. I'll take one.
I look for Liston to win in 3 rounds. I like Liston in about 1 to 3 rounds.
He was perfect for television. He was the provocateur.
I think he came to play.
As we got near to the
Muhammad Ali came to play. He was Cassius Clay.
Ali's interface with the counterculture and the beginnings of his huge socio-political presence.
If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk.
As if he hadn't put enough pressure on himself, Cassius Clay decided to announce that morning he had joined the Black Muslim religion, an unpopular militant group.
Ticket sales started dropping to Muslims. They were thinking of possibly canceling the fight.
That was a polarizing moment, that Cassius Marcellus Clay was going to be Muhammad Ali, and we've never seen anything like that.
You know how great I am. I don't have to tell you about my strategy. Let my trainer tell you. Bodini, come here. Bodini, tell him, what are we going to do? You're going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Ah, rumble, young man, rumble. Ah.
By the time the
Liston weigh-in took place.
I got chills from that moment, bro. That's
boxing people that we
so iconic, no cap.
Morning of February 25th, the day of the big fight. Now we'll see the craziest weigh-in in all boxing history.
You don't want to make Sonny mad. Sonny's bad enough when he's not mad. And I agreed to that all the way up, and then he hit the door.
Clay said anybody would have to be afraid of a crazy man.
It was all part of young Clay's master plan.
Cassius was smart, and he was clever, and he could get under Liston's skin more so than anybody ever.
I saw Sonny Liston a few days ago, Cash.
Ain't he ugly? He's too ugly to be the world's champ. The world's champ should be pretty like me.
Well, he told me to bet my life that you wouldn't go 3 rounds.
Well, if you want to lose your money, then bet on Sunday.
It had to be somebody who was whistling past the graveyard, somebody who had to be scared, who was trying to, keep his courage up before he was destroyed.
I felt that Sonny Liston was going in and squash this boastful, braggartly kid like an ant.
All set now. World heavyweight boxing title on the line.
Just the anticipation of my father thinking that Ali was going to get killed literally by Sonny Liston, because that is what people thought.
The real drama around this fight was whether this hysterical man-child was going to lose his nerve, whether he was going to show up, and whether he was going to get killed.
Very slippery.
Greatest of all time, greatest athlete, ambassador, human being of all time.
The challenger is jabbing all.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Look at the guy yawning. Tell us what you think at the end of one.
You look at the videos, or there's documentaries, there's movies, and it's hard to sum him up, because you could do documentaries on different parts of his life.
Sonny wobbled. Sonny wobbled.
He the real deal, man. He's the real deal.
Sonny has a big mouth below his left eye. And he's getting hit with all the punches in the book.
Now, he was beating Sonny Liston up. I ain't gonna care.
So I get him down, I get the sponge, and I pour the water into his eyes, trying to cleanse whatever's there. Before I did that, put my pinky in his eye, and I put it into my eye. It burned like hell. There was something caustic in both eyes. Joe Polino had used Moncel solution on that cut, and my kid, sweating profusely, went into both eyes. What the heck, let's face it, biggest fight of his life, and he's blind, he can't see.
Joe's eyes, his eyes are bothering him. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know exactly what happened.
What? Wait. What just happened? Wait, he was on fire. Beating up Sonny Liston. What happened in between the moment of him sitting down? Who put something in his eyes, man? You see, conspiracies, man. What y'all trying to do to my man Muhammad Ali? I don't want to see a black man make it. God damn.
They're yelling from Cassius Clay's corner. Something got in his right eye.
Ali at 199 pounds was just not a full body heavyweight at that point. Well, Sonny Liston was probably 220.
Oh, the ball. Cassius is a bit hurt.
You can't see anymore.
Sonny Liston put a horrible licking on him in that round. The lesser guy would have folded. But then his eyes started clear. He started doing a number on Liston again.
Oh yeah, that's what we back on right now.
Easy target.
Say like, oh come on.
Cassius.
Don't cheat my man out his victory.
Good long left lead.
In the 6th round, when Liston went back to his corner, Liston was a beaten man.
What do you think is going on in Sonny's mind at this point?
Well, I think that they feel now that Clay have all the confidence he needs and go on to defeat Sonny.
Cassius Clay, he's got peripheral vision, sharp. He's looking over my shoulder. He's looking over my shoulder. He got up. We win.
Sonny Liston!
He's not coming out. What you mean? You can't. They doing the towel. They doing the towel. You know his chest got even bigger. Y'all doing the towel. I didn't even have to knock you out.
7-1 favorite. Whoa. Electrified, and there he was, right in front of me,
and a whole bunch of other newspaper men pointing down to us like this. I told you, I told you, I told you exactly what I was going to do.
And nobody, even the big sports writers, they were in awe over what he had done.
So great, I don't have a mark on my face, and I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest.
I must be the greatest.
Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
Had Liston gotten by, the powers that be never would have allowed Cassius Clay to fight.
I love his
again.
trash.
Who's the greatest? Who's the greatest? You notice they don't say nothing. No justice, no justice.
Said he was the greatest. All of the odds were against him. He upset the odds makers. He won.
Nothing in Cassius Clay's past prepared him to become Muhammad Ali.
Cassius is not my name no more. Officially Muhammad Ali now. Muhammad Ali, right. Muhammad Ali. That's my name.
White America won't stand for it, which they did.
Black people in many parts of this country weren't allowed to drink from the same water fountains as white people, to eat in the same restaurants.
Cassius is in a better position than anyone else to restore a sense of racial pride to not only our people in this country, but all over the world.
How do you feel about Malcolm's killing?
I feel that it will touch off a war here in New York City between the black Muslims and Elijah Mohammed.
The head of the World Boxing Association. He was going to take Muhammad Ali's title away because Muhammad Ali did not think like they wanted him to think.
The title does not belong to the title holder. The title belongs to the World Boxing Association.
A rematch with Liston was scheduled for November of 1964 in Boston.
The heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali.
16 rounds or less. The world heavyweight title, the big fight, the big night, round number 1. Here we go. You'll note that Cassius wants to
Shit is
stay
so
up in the
clear.
center of the ring where he happens to be the king.
Muhammad threw, I don't know, maybe 4 punches at most.
Oh! You see the pullback?
He didn't see. Muhammad was floating around, and what happened? He made an angle on the guy. Liston had thrown a jab, his head went down. He didn't see the punch. He got hit right on the temple.
Sergeant Joe Walcott. Sonny cannot move.
Cassius, you're talking.
I'm not Cassius. You still calling me? I can't get on with
Mohammed,
you.
you're talking in.
I'm not no white man.
have to talk in general.
So you want to keep calling me a white man's name? I'm not white. I don't want to be called after your name no more. I'm not no slave. I'm Muhammad Ali. With Clay peppering him, and down he goes. He was in a bad spot in the corner, and he is down. 5, 6.
When we think about
The intensity. You know, I love, first of all, I love what he said to him. First of all, just to establish in that era, what era, let's establish what era he was in while he was talking to them people like that. But you gotta respect that. And on top of that, he went and did work in the ring. It wasn't like he was just a loud mouthpiece. He did everything he said he was going to do. Like, man, if you don't respect Muhammad Ali, I don't know who you respect in this world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whoa.
Muhammad Ali, what he did in the ring is not what we think about.
Because he was doing Gandhi outside of the ring, and he could knock out anybody in the world. The guy could hold court in the poorest of the poor right up to the White House. When he walked in, he lit up the room.
That's real talk. He could go anywhere in the world.
Literally moved
fit in with
faster and
any
lighter on his
person.
feet than most welterweights.
Look at the footwork. I think. Oh my God.
Yeah. Look at this.
We gotta do the footwork. I gotta get a video on the footwork.
But the movement, the side to side, it was like there's no heavyweights that ever moved like that. No one.
I didn't see too many fighters ever move like this. The way he moves is like
67. He was sleek.
He goes.
You couldn't touch him. It's like he punching a punching bag, to be honest.
A couple of guys got this thing about trying to get him steamed up. Calling him Cassius Clay.
You know, Cassius Clay, yes.
Why do you want to say Cassius Clay when Howard Cosell and everybody is calling you Muhammad Ali? Then why you got to be the one of all people whose color to keep saying Cassius Clay? Why don't you call me my name, man?
Well, what's your name? You told me your name was Cassius Clay a few years ago.
I never told you my name was Cassius Clay.
My name is Muhammad Ali, and you will announce it right there in the center of that ring after the fight if you don't do it now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as the two contestants prepare for battle right now.
Who was the one that he, when he was doing, what's my name, what's my name?
You all know exactly who I am. Say my name.
Steady to humiliate him.
And
He's gonna make you say his name.
What's my name? What's my name?
What's my name? Yeah, I know. He's gonna make him say his name. I already knew that. He's gonna say his name, bro.
Say my name.
Monster. He is a living
is going to establish tonight
movie.
A random selection sequence, the draft lottery. A live report on tonight's picking of the birth dates for the draft.
It was the first lottery used to order men into military service since 1942.
As you have just seen, the heavyweight champion of the world has rejected induction into the military service.
People say, well, the Vietnam War, everybody was against it. Wrong. Wrong. 1965, 1966, 95% were in favor of that war. Nobody criticized the U.S.
If you were opposed to the war in Vietnam, they thought you were patriotic and cowardly draft dodgers.
More than half of all African Americans oppose the war in Vietnam.
Out of all the people y'all could have chose on the planet, or well, in America at the time, y'all chose the heavyweight champion of the world? Like, does that even... Of course, not only is he gonna say no, I'm gonna decline disrespectfully. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've accomplished all my dreams. Now it's time to go fight in some shitty war that y'all don't even care about me in my own country. What? I respect this man totally. Like, bro, what's going on?
Vietnam. Blacks were disproportionately dying in Vietnam.
What about your unpatriotic remarks that you made?
You said you were the people's champion?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that you're acting like a people's champion?
Yes, sir.
So you only have two kind of men. Those who compromise and those who take a stand. See? And when you take a stand, you have to be ready to pay for it.
No matter what you think of Mr. Muhammad Ali's religion, certainly have to admire his courage.
Ali had the strength to speak in a time you could be silenced.
Dr. Martin Luther King has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
I still have a dream.
With Bobby Kennedy gone, Martin Luther King gone, Malcolm X gone. Who was there to relate to when Vietnam exploded in our face?
That was a flashpoint, really. I mean, everything that Ali had done before was as nothing compared with his refusal to be inducted.
Suddenly, it didn't seem so craven. to be afraid to go into the army and fight this war.
There were millions of young men my age eligible for the draft for a war that we didn't believe in, all of us huddled on the conveyor belt feeding the war machine.
It took an all-white jury less than a half hour to find Muhammad Ali guilty of all charges.
This fella they call Clay or Muhammad Ali, whatever he wants to call himself, is a disgrace to the nation.
While fighting imprisonment for his stand, Ali was also stripped of his title.
When the mightiest government in the world come down on you, you get compromised.
You my enemy. My enemies are white people, not Vietcong or Chinese or Japanese.
Cassius had receded, and
I'm sorry, but it's just something about that. You know what I'm saying? When I hear the word color, yeah, it disturbs me, man. It disturbs me that even now in 2022, people think like that. Like, that shit do disturb me, because I don't know what makes the brain. I don't, like, you know, we probably studied a lot of brains in America. What makes the brain, like, go to that? Well, your color, yeah, I hate you. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, you know what I'm saying? You ain't my color, I hate you. You know what I'm saying? That shit is like a very narrow way to think of life.
the man who became Muhammad Ali had transcended sport.
This nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
They were the police, jury, and executioner all in one.
You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
How he wondered whether or not he would ever fight again, and his title was stripped from him. How he was a pariah in America.
His ban was eventually overturned by the Supreme Court.
Ali here today a victim. The Supreme Court exonerated for refusing military induction.
This was Ali's return to the ring after a 3.5-year exile.
The time he was out would have been great. It would have been watching a master at work, because he had reached his full proportions, full maturity. The world never got to see the best of Ali. What you got was plenty, but you didn't see the best of him.
Oh.
That left. The crowd
screaming. Yeah, I knocked off 3 years of his career. That's a lot.
And now Ali is behaving like the old Ali.
See, he didn't spend those 3 years lifting weights and running hills and hitting the heavy bag. He wasn't doing anything.
It's over. Ali is the knockout winner.
2 undefeated champions. 2 champions of
the
first rank. And Ali coming back to reclaim in many people's minds what was rightly his, but not against some patsy, against Joe Frazier.
That as soon as the U.S. government humbled him, that shit broke his ego, man. It's like, bro, I felt on top of the world. I'm telling white people, call me Mohammad. Don't call me by no white man name. And then they come and humble your ass in front of everybody. It's embarrassing. And you lost your career for 3 years, man. Man, God bless this man and his family and everything. I'll be like, man, this shit real.
In a beautiful, beautiful red and white robe. Now here comes Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier will be here any minute.
We have 2 undefeated fighters in there. Frazier has won all 26 of his bouts with 23 knockouts, and Muhammad Ali has won all 31 of his bouts with 25 knockouts.
The young Muhammad Ali would have run circles around Joe Frazier.
Look at Ali go. Look at him go. Look at him.
I mean, he doesn't look anything like he used to look.
Right.
I mean, he's bouncing around a little bit in the beginning.
The crowd is chanting Ali, and Joe says, come on out and fight.
But he's just not the same guy.
Ali didn't have the speed to avoid punches, but
he learned that he could stand and fight.
A wicked punch.
He gotta test his heart now, cause he can't read punches. So I'm test that chin and that heart. Real talk. Oh yeah, you see his head? It's a lot of. He got hit with a lot of shit in this fight.
The round is over. The round is over. What a round! I don't know how he survived that round.
Joe just relentlessly keeps going. He has more stamina and power than anybody I think I've ever seen. Don't you, Archie?
15 and final round. Referee, time is important here.
Woo! That would have knocked anyone out. I felt that.
The world wanted him to stay down, to lose.
Many wanted to watch this liberal,
black
draft dodger get his ass kicked. He
This,
wouldn't give him the
this
comfort
man's
to stand
heart
down.
is
Ali
on
got up simply because he knew that that's what they wanted. And
it's bigger than Joe Frazier, though. You see the heart of a man. Y'all don't see the heart of a lion.
Every one of them.
Only lions see what lions see, man. That's some different type of shit. The world hates you. Everyone, they plotted on your career. You would have beat the life out this man if you were still boxing.
The question on everyone's mind was whether Ali could ever be the fighter he once was.
And when I do come back, if I ever do, I'll have more of a hunger, determination, which is something you lose in the intoxication of so-called greatness.
Muhammad Ali, I am told, suffered a broken jaw in the first round. Nobody can really believe what they have seen. It is a tired Ali and a hurt Ali.
Frank Rustich, 7 points Norton, 5 points Ali.
There it is! There it is! One of the greatest upsets again in boxing history. He has a broken jaw. He is a beaten man.
They did my man Ali so fat, yo.
Of dollars that loom
Yo, U.S. government
could
have let this man live.
Suddenly gone. What was once a very great fighter becomes now part of fistic history in all probability.
We want to see greatness. Damn.
George Foreman had annihilated everyone that stepped in the ring with him.
I had beaten everybody that Muhammad Ali had lost to.
The challenger for the heavyweight title, Big George Foreman, the undefeated heavyweight.
I must break you. So I thought I was the toughest thing ever invented.
George was a big, strong, young, impervious to pain heavyweight.
If he put you, if he put you 6 feet deep, ultimately, George Foreman didn't have a problem with that. He was that vicious.
He was strong.
One punch of mine was equal to 20 of any other heavyweight champion.
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Down goes Frazier!
Yeah.
Down goes Frazier!
Yeah, he couldn't do nothing about it. It was just so much.
I got Joe Frazier who had dropped Muhammad Ali.
The most menacing heavyweight of all time. It would be George Foreman.
I was going to be the best heavyweight that ever existed.
That he is with Ken Norton, and the reason for that, of course, is that he doesn't like George Foreman one bit. Do you really believe
best
Ali, that
heavyweight that ever existed?
Yeah, the man went 24 rounds with me, broke my jaw in the first round. I was in shape to sack him fight.
In those days, he was a bully. The people around him were afraid of him. Foreman had really brutalized the people who trained him, and they were terrified of him.
Given the hell he gave me, as fast as I am, as accurate as I am, I couldn't whoop Ken Norton.
I had beaten the best in Joe Frazier. No doubt about it, I had beaten the best. People had something to say about that. I said, you know what? I'm going to kill one of these fellows. Then they'll shut up.
Oh, my God. He tried to kill Ken Norton ass.
And it looks like Norton has really been staggered.
Foreman was the guy who destroyed Frazier, destroyed Kenny Norton.
Whipped by Kenny Norton. I knocked Kenny Norton out easily.
Oh, my
Once again, Muhammad Ali found himself in...
That looked like just a mod. You gotta do a George Foreman highlight.
George Foreman will knock Muhammad Ali out, and it'll end Muhammad Ali's career.
Other boxers were scared. Handlers were scared. The only person that didn't appear scared of Foreman was Ali.
I'll prove to the world that I'm still the fastest, the prettiest, the most classist, the most scientific, the greatest fighter of all time.
Everybody was scared, but Muhammad Ali himself.
And Ali is getting the people to chant, Ali Boumaier. That means Ali kill him.
Have you fought many guys who were talkers in the ring? No, I never get a chance to talk much. By the time you get to know a fella, it's all over.
As for the fight itself, discussion centered not on who would win, but on how much punishment Foreman would dish out.
The time may have come to say goodbye to Muhammad Ali.
And now we understand that George Foreman is about to make his way to the ring.
Because very honestly, I don't think he can beat George Foreman.
Cosell was convinced that Ali was washed up.
Gotta have the heart of a lion.
This guy was the closest thing to a human monster I'd ever seen before. He was certainly the scariest boxer.
Look at this now as they stare. Muhammad Ali beginning to talk to George Foreman. They're really putting the stare on each other.
I looked him in the eye to stare him down and said, "Oh, George, you were in school when I was beating Sonny Liston."
Gone in the past 4 years beyond 2 rounds in any fight. By George Foreman.
He knew that the one weakness in this monster, who was thought of as unbeatable, was his stamina.
The first round, all of us yelled out, "Get off the ropes." And he would just say, "Shut up, I know how to do it."
Well, I would say that the round was very even.
Said, "Shut up, I know what I'm doing."
Ali totally got into the guy's head, and he didn't even realize it.
He had all the people behind him, it was over.
It was Muhammad Ali's fertile mind that created the rope-a-dope.
Here we go, round number 2. The determined Ali got off his stool in between rounds. George Foreman sat down all the way. Ali leaned on the rope. Good vicinity.
Starting second or third round, when he went to the ropes, he was calling Foreman all kinds of names. Any name of ugliness you can think of.
Talk. Definitely serious. Tremendous combination.
He fought just like your initial bumps, just lay on the rope and take a whipping. This time he did it with character. He said, "Hey, I'm going to weather this storm."
The rope-a-dope, that was something that was in.
One thing I noticed about Muhammad Ali, he just feeds off the people. Spirit Bomb and Dragon Balls, he just feeds energy. So you can punch him all day. He's about to. It's about to show.
By Muhammad Ali that night.
I must say, I don't understand those tactics, Joe, of staying on the ropes and letting him hit
It just shows you the power of intellect and intelligence and how that can compete against anything.
Any force.
Believe me, I was a big, powerful giant in the ring with Muhammad. I mean, a knockout artist. He stood up to me.
Foreman setting him up against the rope. What a... Look at him whispering in the ear of Foreman.
George Foreman, so young, so strong.
Not supposed to do, leaning up against the ropes. 4 punches downstairs on Ali.
So fearless.
I had him beat, I really did. And really thought I had him beat up in the body, had him tired.
Continues to talk, continues.
Against George Foreman, he does away with his opponents, one after another, in less than 3 rounds.
George not going that type of distance a long time. He was treading in water, never been in before.
This is the furthest that George Foreman has gone in a fight since 1972. Misses the right hand. Ali is definitely confusing it.
Missing the shots that he missed, it drained him.
Look at Foreman's face. He does look tired.
Nobody knew the strength of Muhammad Ali. He was manhandling, just like Archie said, grabbing him, and he emptied the guy's tank.
I was afraid he was going to get killed. by a George Foreman that many of our young viewers don't know.
Boom, perfect timing.
He woke up like a dragon out there, and he started working. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my, yo, he is a legend, my. I'm telling you, he just was like eating up this shit. Like, all right, I'm just gonna eat it. Let him get slow. He synced it in your face and then lit up like a Christmas tree and started to work on this big ass Sasquatch. Man, shout out to George Foreman, but he went to work. Shout out, yo, this is legendary. Man, I love being young and getting to see the old vibes. Man, I see why y'all say this shit is so iconic. Boom, weave. Look at the weave. Ooh.
I thought he was hurt. I thought his body was hurt. And he came back. He hit Foreman with everything, and he winked at me.
Oh, yes, there's no doubt about it. He winked right over here to this corner.
You know, the guy really was the people's choice. And he was the people's choice because he loved them.
So he's just feeding off of them. Energy, energy, energy. Just give me it. And I'm going to use it to knock this big Sasquatch body having ass.
Would win in a flash.
George Foreman.
Then about the 7th round, he asked me, "That all you got, George?" That was like a nightmare.
After a while, even the dumbest of us looked up there and said, "You know what? He's winning."
Yeah, everybody starts like, "Oh shit, he emptied the tank on him." Oh, oh. Drop George. That's champion type shit. Yes, you did.
I'm the greatest of all time.
Muhammad Ali has done it. The great man has done it.
He was, in fact, the greatest heavyweight who ever lived.
Yeah, this solidifies the greatest heavyweight ever.
Muhammad Ali.
You are the greatest.
I am the greatest.
The referee stops the fight.
He loved people.
Yo, I'm gonna end it right there. It's 5 minutes left on the video. This was one of the most fire videos I've watched so far on YouTube. I mean, the greatest doesn't even explain it, man. His genius, his will. I mean, man, we coming back with more goats, man. No cap. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do to the channel. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll be back.